1370 AM.
Visit the WOCA website at www.woca.com.
Thank you. 25 minutes before 8 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this morning. A little, I guess it's getting bright earlier. Huh?
Yeah, it is.
Looks like
I love it.
The daylight starts a little bit earlier.
Love the brightness.
We're now into the spring, full blast, and summertime. It's just around the corner.
Exactly.
61 degrees right now, by the way. Mm-hmm. And today's weather looks like there's some rain in the forecast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a little bit of rain. I forgot to look in the sky yesterday to see that rocket take off.
Oh, me too. Did it go?
I don't even know. I don't even know if it went.
I think it went.
So
yeah.
today's high temperature, 85 degrees, and it says, thunderstorms today and tomorrow. The weekend looks good, though.
Uh-huh.
And cool temperatures weekend nights. 45 degrees, the expected low Saturday and Sunday night.
Oh, wow.
Not bad. 68, the expected high on Saturday. Nice weekend.
Nice
Weekend. All right.
Nice.
Before I talk about the third graders being left behind, not being left behind, not being left back. Let me put that aside. I just have this announcement I need to make. There's an auction today. It's a fundraiser auction. It's this evening from 5. No, it's from 6. Right?
Yeah, starts at 6.
Preview auction item. Oh, you can preview the auction items at 5 o'clock. That's this evening. Now, let me tell you about this. I know I'm going to leave something out if I don't actually read it. So this is free. Free to get in. Mm-hmm. The auction will benefit select local not-for-profit organizations or non-profit organizations. It says non-for-profit.
Yeah, they made a mistake. It's either non-profit or not-for-profit.
That's what I thought. Okay, but
whoever wrote that, they have to get their act together.
Okay. Well, anyway, auction items purchased can be paid for by credit card, debit card, or cash. So far, you don't know anything, do you?
No.
Concession stand will be selling pizza, chips, soda, and water. Cash only, please, at the concession stands. The event is sponsored by the Marion County MSTU. Mm-hmm. Stands for what, Robin? Municipal. Marion Oaks Recreation Department.
Yes, Marion Oaks Recreation Department.
But what does MSTU stand for?
I have no clue.
Oh, yeah.
I just know they're the ones that Marion Oaks is
So
the
for
one
more
that wrote
information, call 438-2831. Mm-hmm. You still don't know much.
No.
The organizations participating provide scholarships, youth programming, and more. Some of the organizations that will benefit are the Marion Oaks Women's Club, Kid Genius, Civic Association, youth programs, and Friends of the Library. The auction is today. From 5 to 6, you can preview items up for auction. The auction starts at 6 p.m. with an estimated ending time of 8:30 p.m. That's tonight. The event will be held at the Marion Oaks Community Center in Building A, which is at 294 Marion Oaks Lane here in Ocala. The Marion Oaks Recreation Department, Marion County MSTU.
I don't know.
I'm trying to remember what that means. Is hosting the event. Participating organizations are registered with the Marion Oaks Community Center, and they are non-for-profit. I'm just reading what it says.
I know. I know.
Organizations who are participating receive 90% of the sales from items they are having auctioned off. Mm-hmm. The auctioneer is licensed and insured from Good Deal Auction Services. 10% of the proceeds go to the Marion Oaks Recreation Department for local nonprofit organizations. So, let's see, what I would want to know is what kind of things are being auctioned off. Is there anything in here that says that?
No, I don't think so. That's the original email.
Well, that's an announcement that Joe wanted us to make. So, I'm looking to see if there's something we need to... No, I guess not. So there's an auction, and it'll help some really great people in our community.
Yes, exactly.
That's the bottom line right there. And it's at Marion Oaks, and it's this evening, okay?
Yep.
So you have this on Facebook, I trust?
Yes, I do.
So go to the WOCA Facebook page, and it'll be there. Or, of course, you can call us, and we'll be glad to do that for you.
You have to scroll down.
You have to scroll down because lots of stuff gets added to the
Yes,
Facebook page.
it does.
But it is a great resource if you just hook up with it. You got to go to the one that says News Talk WOCA, right?
Yes.
Because we have several WOCA sites, and the only one that stays active is that one.
Yes.
All right. One of these days, we'll figure out how to get rid of the other ones.
Yeah.
But we don't know how to get rid of them.
Not yet.
They are there, but we don't use them.
We dabble.
It's the one that has, thousands. The one that you go to is the one with thousands of likes or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's almost 4,000, I think.
Yeah, not the one that has 60.
Yeah.
Those are the ones where we were still trying to figure out, how do you do this thing?
Exactly.
What do you do? What do you do here? All right. Amid continued backlash over Florida's testing regimen, the state may stop holding back third-grade students who fail the state's standardized tests. If Florida lawmakers agree to the change, it would mark a major departure from a policy pushed into law by then-Governor Jeb Bush, who decried social promotion when he campaigned for governor. Governor Bush vowed to end the practice as part of his A-plus education law, which was enacted in 1999, as you know. The law tied promotion to the fourth grade to how students did on a standardized reading test. It makes sense to me.
Yes.
Now, if you don't like the test, then change the test.
Yeah.
But if the test is accepted as a way to measure whether a child is ready to move on to the next level, then why would you allow somebody who doesn't pass that test to be moved on to the next level?
Exactly.
That makes no sense to me at all.
No.
To me, it is cruel to the child.
It is.
It is cruel to the child. It's like telling somebody who failed the driving test to go ahead and drive, knowing full well that person's probably going to be in a wreck.
Yes. Exactly.
A Senate panel yesterday voted in favor of suspending the policy that Governor Jeb Bush put into place until the state's new standardized test is independently validated.
What is the matter with
So
those
we have a
elected
test,
officials?
but our lawmakers say, it's not a good test, but it's the one we have. But until we get the one we like, we're just going to go ahead and let the kids who fail move forward.
And those are the guys that are making the big bucks, too. How stupid are they?
They do.
Yeah, how stupid are they?
The test is based heavily on Common Core standards, and a rollout this month of an online version for middle and high school students has been marred by technical glitches. Well, if a student fails the test because there's a computer that's not working, that's not failing the test.
No.
That is not failing the test. That is the test failing the student.
Exactly. Exactly. Good
That
point.
is the test failing, not the student failing.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. If the test fails the student, then give the student a paper test. Put the test on paper. Give him or her a pencil.
That's right.
Don't say, okay, the computer froze up because there's a glitch or it was hacked or whatever else you want to say, or blame it on the Common Core. Look, if the teachers don't like Common Core, get together and get rid of it.
Exactly.
If the teachers like Common Core, then good. Fortify it. Make it the best thing we ever had. But stop this stupid arguing between people who have never been teachers to try to figure out what's the best thing to do for our students.
Exactly.
It's ridiculous.
It
What
is.
the heck is failing about? Failing isn't about reprimanding somebody. Failing isn't about punishing somebody. Failing is about showing that a student isn't ready. It's for his or her best interests
Exactly.
to keep them back. I know it's an embarrassing thing. I remember kids who got left back. One of my best friends in New York got left back, and it probably, the words left back still sting. And he's going on 60 years old.
Yeah.
But guess what? It made him the person he is today because he learned from it.
Yeah. Exactly.
He learned that you have to achieve in order to move on to the next level.
Exactly.
It's not fair to the child.
No.
And if
it
you're going
is
to blame it on the test, that's great. Blame it on the test, but then give the child a test that the child can take. How
Exactly.
easy is that to understand?
That's right. Print out those pages and give them a pencil.
There
like
was
you said.
a very big debate yesterday, and that's when they voted on this. Both Democratic and some Republican legislators argued that the state's heavy reliance on the high-stakes test has gotten out of control. Well, if it has, then do the teachers a favor and let the teachers figure out what the test should be.
Exactly.
You knuckleheads up there, fix potholes.
Yeah. Exactly.
Do something about the potholes. Do something about things that matter, that you know something about.
Yeah, let the people who know about the education system take care of it, not you guys. Gee.
What a roll here. The Florida legislature is considering bills that would roll back some testing requirements. We'll take a little break and be right back. I would love to hear what you have to say. If you disagree, that's great. Call in 622-9622, or if you agree, either way, we'd love to hear from you. We'll be right back.
Weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. We'll see a mix of sun and clouds today. It'll be warm with nothing more than a shower or thunderstorm in the area this afternoon. The high 82 to 86. Tonight, partly to mostly cloudy and mild with a shower in spots. Lows in the mid to upper 60s. Mostly cloudy tomorrow. Breezy and not as warm with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm. The high 75 to 79. For Saturday, sunny, breezy, and cool with highs in the upper 60s. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lunder.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
So you need a credit card, but how do you choose? Let's compare the big banks to Florida Credit Union. They have rewards, and we do too. They have customer service. Hello, 24/7. They have celebrities. Hey, Danny. But with Florida Credit Union, there's no annual fee, no liability for fraudulent charges, and no 22% interest rates. Choose Florida Credit Union, and you'll not only have a great credit card, but you'll have the support and personal touch that the big banks, well, can't touch. Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life. Federally insured by the NCUA.
If you missed Southern Pigskin tonight recently, you missed Urban Meyer talking about what it takes to man up.
You hear the term man up or next man ready, and everyone says that. We've certainly been a part of situations where that hasn't happened, where the next man wasn't ready. Obviously, the credit goes to the player first.
So join us every Thursday at 5 p.m. for Southern Pigskin Tonight, right here on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Black Cow composted cow manure is a terrific organic soil amendment. We start with cow manure from dairy farms and then compost it a full 90 days. The result is an all-natural, dark, rich soil amendment that's great for everything you grow. Flowers, vegetables, shrubs, trees, and lawns too. Look for Black Cow in the bright yellow and black bag at your favorite nursery or garden center.
Black Cow, the mature manure, Black Cow.
Time now to spiff up your bling for spring. Make your rings look brand new. Our master jeweler at Goss & Son will rhodium finish your rings for just $69.95, regular price $75. It's like waxing your car. It brings that shine back and looks all brand new all over again. So come see us. Our downtown location, Goss & Son Jewelers, serving you downtown for 65 years.
All right, thank you. 12 minutes before 8 o'clock. Thank you for tuning into The Source. We're talking about an issue that our state legislators were considering or were debating yesterday regarding the passing of third grade students who fail standardized tests. And of course, they're blaming the fact that there might have been glitches in the computer program that was being used to give the test, and they're blaming the Common Core, which if Common Core is bad, get rid of Common Core. Mm-hmm. Come on, how long does it take to figure this out? I mean, look at it. Let the teachers look at it.
Exactly.
I'm sure they have an opinion.
Sure they do.
So, I mean, you know what they should do? They should say, we need to work on legislation that requires us to take a test in the legislature. Mm-hmm. If you don't pass the test, you can't serve as a representative.
Yeah.
You got to know the Constitution. You got to pass the drug test. How about that test?
Exactly.
Yeah. In Colorado, they did that, right? In Colorado,
they
passed an annual drug test for legislators.
Yep, exactly. No, they should. The legislators should be tested every year for everything.
Anyway, the phone lines are open if you want to call 622-9622. So here's a statement from Senator Alan Hayes, who is a Republican from the city of Umatilla. He said, "I think if we're all honest with the people of Florida, we would admit right now we have a train wreck on our hands and our educational system." Okay, so let's just look at that for a second. He yesterday tried to get the Senate Appropriations Committee to halt school grades as well as all other requirements tied to the tests until an in-depth review was conducted. He also wanted to verify that school districts are capable of giving the tests online. So, Mr. Hayes, I understand your problem with the test. Why don't you just get together with the other lawmakers and say, you know who should really be making these decisions?
Yes.
Is the school boards of each county, each district, the school teachers, the school principals, the ones who really, truly know what's going on. Let them figure out what kind of a test to give. How is it possible that we as a society can't figure out that you have specialists who are competent in doing something, and yet you refuse to let them have autonomous control over the thing that you've hired them to do? Why do you have to micromanage something? You've hired professionals, people who went to school to learn how to do something. Why don't if you're going to have take away the autonomy of teachers, why don't you take it away from mechanics? Why don't you take it away from radio hosts?
Exactly.
Why don't you micromanage me? Why don't you tell me this is what you can and you cannot say?
That's right.
I know some of you believe we have that, but we don't. Not here, not WOCA, and never, ever, ever in my years as a radio host have I had something in front of me that said I cannot ever say this, with the exception, of course, of curse words.
Yes.
Those are the only things I'm prohibited from saying, but that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. What we're talking about is allowing people who went to school, have dedicated their lives, have chosen to take a career that pays less than something else they might have done with their lives, so that they can teach children, so those children can be our future leaders. And instead of giving them the benefit of the doubt of what they've done with their life, you've taken your career as an attorney, as a businessman, as whatever, and you've parlayed it into an elected position because you wanted to make a difference. Good for you. Congratulations. Bravo, bravo. But pay attention to the other people in this world who've done something with their lives to make this world a better place, and let them do what they're good at.
Exactly.
Stop trying to say you know more about education than the educators.
That's right. It's all about ego.
If the test fails the student, get rid of the test. If the student fails the test, keep the student back. It's the best thing for the student. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning. Good morning. Exactly. When I went to school, the curriculum was all locally done. There were some things that came from the state that you had to take English for 4 years in high school. And the state had a recommended reading list, but they didn't have to take everything on the reading list. Basically it was up to local control. The department chairman in each school wrote the syllabus.
Yeah, well, and that's the way. And there's nothing wrong with the way it was done when we were younger. Just because it's old school doesn't mean it's bad school.
Exactly.
You're making it good. And look this is one of the smartest people I'll ever know speaking to me on the phone right now. So somebody did something right. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate that.
Have a good day.
All right, so now let's look at this again, because this is talking about the standardized reading test. The standardized reading test. Okay. How many times have we heard this? Now, I'm not an expert. If you're a teacher, I would love to get your 2 cents or your whole dollar's worth, as Robin says. When we're in third grade, that's the age they say that's the age you should be knowing how to read. Isn't that what they say?
Yes.
You learn to read up until the third grade, and then after that, you read to learn. So from the beginning of schooling, from education up to the third grade, that's your years of learning how to read. So this is a standardized reading test, which makes it even more interesting and maybe more absurd that they want to pass students who failed it. If the test is failing the students, change the stupid test.
That's right. Exactly.
Let the people who know how to write these tests write these tests. The people who you have hired to be our teachers know what to do. The people you have hired, now you might find, some bad apples in there, but look, most of the teachers are doing a pretty good job.
Yeah.
The principals, the teachers, we have an outstanding school superintendent, by the way.
We do.
I mean, I have never been more impressed with a guy than this guy.
Exactly. George, he's just so good.
Yeah.
George Common, he's absolutely amazing.
But anyway, I mean, getting back, I really think that this is the way to do it. So you get the teachers to say, how are we going to prove that these students, by the end of third grade, have the reading skills they need so that they can move on to the fourth grade and continue their education, and in part be self-educating because now they know how to read?
Yeah.
Okay, so you make up a test, just as Jim was pointing out, teachers did in our young days. Jim's about our age, I think. Okay, so I mean, what's so wrong with that idea? No, you have to have some Common Core. It's common. What's so common about it? What? Because they use it across the country?
Yeah.
You mean the whole country is having this problem? Exactly. Well, what does that say about us? What is wrong? Why don't we try to become the best state ever? Why don't we try to have the best students ever instead of passing children who don't pass the test?
And teachers do all they can. That's why they call parent-teacher conferences. That's why they send notes home to the parents so the parents know how well their student is doing. And if the student is falling back, it's not the teacher's fault. There are some parents out there that just don't care, and they won't give their own child the extra help they need. So the teachers take it upon themselves to try to do all of it.
Patricia Levesque is probably somebody who agrees with us. She's the executive director of the Foundation for Florida's Future. That organization was started by Governor Jeb Bush back in his days as governor. She says the policy of holding back third graders has been a success. I believe it has.
Yes, me too.
Yes, it's not. It may be embarrassing, but guess what? In the course of a lifetime, there are many things we've all done that have been embarrassing that we learned from. There are many points that you look back in your life and you sting a little bit because you know, gosh, I can't believe I did that, or whatever. So what? So what? We move on. We have a society that teaches all the time that forgiveness is a virtue. Yes. Forgive yourself.
Yes.
So you moved on. And guess what? The guy I know in New York who failed third or fourth, I think he failed the fourth grade, is doing wonderfully. So, I mean, it really shows you something. Let's see. There's a quote here from Patricia Levesque. She says, for more than a decade, Florida has placed a command focus on reading through early identification, intervention, and retention as the last resort. The results have been transformative. Our students outperformed the national average in every subgroup of fourth grade reading on the most recent Nations Report Card. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
If the tests that were in there before this Common Core thing that's creating such havoc, if those tests were doing that, were giving us the highest grades of any subgroup in the Nations Report Card, that's what she says, then why don't you go back to it? Why did you change it?
Exactly.
The number of required tests has grown over the last decade, and they also took on more importance as they became part of the measurement used to evaluate teachers. Some of the great leaders in our own community taught me the phrase teaching to the test, the intentional dumbing down, and some other phrases that I've learned from some of them.
Yeah.
Phyllis, was it Schlafly?
Yes.
Was on here years ago talking about that. Legislators entered this year's session promising to rein in the number of tests after hearing complaints from parents, students, and school officials. You know what's going to happen? Here's what's going to happen. Those children who are being homeschooled are going to be the most brilliant students out there.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones being taught by the people who know how to teach.
Exactly.
And that's the parents.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, all parents can't teach.
Right.
And that's why I'm not being facetious when I say it. I'm just saying that, look, the public schools can do well if you just let the teachers have a say-so.
Exactly.
Don't be strong-arming the teachers. The Florida House has already passed a bill that scales back and eliminates some tests, including one that's required of 11th graders. But the measure does not include the same provisions as the Senate legislation. Republican legislators in the House have also rejected changes pushed by Democrats, including one that calls for suspending the school grading system as the state transitions to its new set of tests.
Gosh.
You gotta wait to see if it works before you do this.
Senator John Legg, a sponsor of the testing bill, said there would be no way to validate the test in time for when schools must decide whether to hold students back.
Well, the individual teacher can do that for each individual student.
I don't understand. This is not a hard problem to figure out.
That's right.
You have some very talented and dedicated teachers out there that could answer these questions for you if you would just listen to them.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.